My name is Teresa. I awakened Kundalini in 2009. In my self-documented journal and video experience, today's video, which I think is important to share and God wants you to know, is on the topic of Prana Breath. Prana energy is sublime power of God energy that is blown into the mouth of a person with awakened Kundalini by God. It's not hanging around in the air. You can't go to the beach and feel good and, breathe in the prana energy. It's not in the atmosphere. It is a very, very special breath of God, and it is only blown into the mouth of, of a person with awakened Kundalini at God's will. One of the biggest misconceptions about this entire Kundalini awakening experience is that the ego thinks it controls it all. It thinks that you can just say, I want prana energy today, and you get prana energy, or that you can overcome the ego and it's your job to do it, and that's just not true. It's a process from beginning to end that is completely and absolutely controlled by God. It is His call to you. He controls it. He controls what you see, what you think, what you feel, what you do, what you don't do, what you understand, when you understand it. He controls the activation of the Kundalini. He controls the prana breath. He controls your entire environment. So we need to get rid of that perception, that belief from the get-go. You don't awaken your own Kundalini. You have to participate. You have to sit and meditate and be quiet and learn certain lessons, but God controls when it is activated. God controls how long it takes for the awakened Kundalini to actually rise up through your entire chakra tree. And the ego, overcoming every obstacle, is controlled by God on His timing, in His way. You may have the knowledge, you may know, but He will not let it happen until it is His timing for it to happen. So, prana energy, this very, very special energy, what does it do? It makes a person, a Kundalini awakened person, super energized, super powered. So I have, when the prana breath energy goes in, I have what would be considered comic book superhero powers. I have an extraordinary hearing that when you live in an apartment is not a good thing, because I can hear all of my neighbors. But this sensory increase, extraordinary increase, allows me to perceive God, allows me to perceive the writings in the clouds, the wonders in the sky are actually the clouds. God uses the clouds, puts pictures and words and numbers and a variety of things in the sky for me to read or see. And if I don't have that enhanced view, then I just see regular fluffy clouds like you. But with prana energy, which I have taken pictures of on my blog, you can see all these really incredible images. Then my perception my entire bodily perception is astronomically enhanced. I feel, think, see, hear, everything of a much greater magnitude. On my blog, I said that it's like eating carrots versus jet fuel. It's that strong and that different. Like I said, there are some drawbacks to it. I become extremely sensitive to other people also. So I can, even though I am enhanced to see God, I'm also enhanced to feel and perceive everything else in my environment, which sometimes is not good. Do I need to hear a dog barking, a mile away? No, I don't, but I can. So anyway, there is a book on my blog that is The Science of Breath by Yogi Ramacharaka, I think. And it's a very good book as it pertains to explaining the human respiratory system. As it pertains to prana energy, it is completely false. So the science of breath is a very, it's AOL for dummies kind of a thing. It's a very, very easy to read, thin, tiny, tiny paperback, maybe 100, 150 pages. And it explains the importance of clean air. No smoking, no polluted air to breathe, because what happens is the air that you are breathing in goes into your lungs, but then from your lungs, that oxygenated blood goes through your entire anatomy, your brain, your liver, your heart, your veins, your entire body. And so any dirty air pollutes your body, which means that the polluted blood going to your brain diminishes the functioning of your brain. Maybe it's only minuscule, but minuscule over time becomes huge. So it's important that you breathe clean air as much as possible. I do not recommend masks unless there is an absolute, like a fire, like something, absolute pollution in your current environment, just temporarily. They're no good for many things. The disease molecules can go right through the masks. I don't support any of that. However, if you are in the midst of a forest fire, I do recommend you covering and trying to protect your respiratory system from that smoke. That being said, prana energy is superpower breath of God that enhances the Kundalini awakened person's entire anatomical perception. You can't say, just because you've been meditating for 5 years, that you had prana breath and, wow, the roses smell good. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. You can meditate for 20 years, and if God doesn't want you to awaken Kundalini, then you will not. But today's topic is very focused on correcting the misunderstandings or the lack of information about prana energy. If they will allow it, if they want it, I will try to get it on video. It kind of comes on suddenly, so I don't necessarily know unless they tell me in advance, telepathically, that I should turn on the recorder to record the prana breath, which is what they did to get the Merkaba spin. So anyway, I'm not trying to promote my blog, but it has just a few really important topics for someone who is seeking to know more about awakening Kundalini and the experience of it. I also have the full video of me spinning the Merkaba spin twice on YouTube under my name, and so I hope that also helps to clarify what it really is and what it does. It is your personal vehicle of time and space, movement, transportation. Ezekiel's wheels was his chakra tree. His chariot was his body. Jesus, his transfiguration and rise to heaven was awakened Kundalini. And in the second, in the video, but in the second showing, when I lift, you actually feel like you're lifting off, like you're flying. And that's the rise which Jesus describes, or is described about Jesus going to heaven, to God. When you have awakened Kundalini, you have the ability to see God a lot. A lot. It's wonderful. It's for another video. But anyway, he is real. He is wonderful, beyond imagination, and I can't wait to go home.